Hello, boys and girls. Today we'll be talking about a lot of stuff. Some you've heard before, some will be new. So please get comfortable, get ready to learn. And remember that you can pause, you can rewatch at any point during this video. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to talk about is our homophone of the week. Remember, homophones, we have homo, which means the same, and phone, which means sound. So they sound the same. So we have piece and piece. So this first piece, P-I-E-C-E, that would be like saying, save me a piece of pizza. If we have P-E-A-C-E, that would be I need some peace and quiet. So they sound the same, but they mean different things. Homophones. The next thing we're going to talk about is our character trait of the week. Our character trait this week is going to be this super long P word. It is perseverance. Perseverance is continuing to work towards a goal, even if there is a delay in getting it or a difficulty in achieving it. Sometimes we work hard and don't meet our goals, but knowing we did the best we could gives us a sense of pride and self-confidence. So perseverance, that means you just keep trying. If something doesn't work, try something different. Not giving up on ourselves or on other people. We also have some synonyms and antonyms that we're going to talk about for the word perseverance. So we're going to start with the synonyms, and remember, synonyms mean same or close to the same. So some synonyms for perseverance could be dedication, resolution, or determination. Next we have is our antonyms for perseverance, or the opposite. The opposite could be neglect, give up, indifference, or sloth. Speaking of perseverance, I would like us to do this short little writing activity. For the new year, a lot of times people come up with goals. Another word for it could be a resolution. It's something that you want to change or do better for the upcoming year. So I want you to, when I'm done giving directions, go ahead and pause the video. And I want you to find a piece of paper. It could be your home writing journal. It could just be a scrap of paper. It doesn't matter. But I want you to take a few minutes and I want you to think of a goal for yourself for this new year. Some examples could be maybe you want to memorize all of your facts, all of your adding and subtracting facts. Maybe you want to read 10 books by the end of the school year. Think about something that you want to achieve for this new year. So go ahead and pause. And I want you to write something down for your goal. All right. Next, we're going to talk about some word work. We're going to be talking about diphthongs for the next several weeks. So it's going to be quite a while we're talking about diphthongs. So we're going to talk about what is a diphthong. It is a sound formed by the combination of two letters in a single syllable, where the sound begins as one vowel and moves towards another, such as in coin and loud. Now that's kind of a crazy definition, but basically what it means is it's two letters that are working together to make a different sound than what they would make together. So like in coin, this OI works together to make that oi sound. Loud makes the ow sound. All right. So the two we're going to talk about this week are going to be AW and AU. We have hawk and haul. So the sound you hear in AW and AU words is a sound in hawk or haul. So here are some examples of our words. For our AW words, we have straw, draw, thaw, saw, slaw, crawl, lawn, pause, ball, hawk, and law. And as you notice, sometimes it's at the end of a word and sometimes it's in the middle of a word. We're going to move on to our AU words. We have autumn, author, audio, cause, vault, fault, hall, pause, and applause. And I can see a homophone in these words. Can you spot it? I can see we have pause and pause. So if we have PAWS, that's like a kitty cat pause or a puppy dog pause. And then PAUSE would be like earlier when I told you to pause the video. Pause your video game, pause your movie. Next thing we're going to talk about is going to be text features. So nonfiction, remember nonfiction means not fake. Nonfiction authors include text features to help readers better understand the text. So we're going to talk about the first one here, which is the table of contents. It is a list of chapter page numbers found at the beginning of the book. So this is in the very beginning of the book. It's going to tell you what chapters there are and what pages they start on. So our example here, you might be reading a book all about spiders. Chapter 1 would start on page 2. Chapter 2 would start on page 5. Chapter 3 would start on page 7. So that's table of contents. Next thing we have is heading. It is a word or phrase that tells what the passage below will be about. So these will be throughout your whole text, okay? So this one says all about elephants. And then we have different headings that break up the whole book. So here, it's kind of hard to read, but it says types of elephants. So below it, the only thing they're going to talk about are different types of elephants. Below that, it says body parts. So the only thing below that, they're going to talk about different parts of the elephant and what makes it different from other animals. All right, so wherever your heading is, that's going to tell you what the rest of that section is going to be about. The next thing we have is a glossary. It is a list of words and their definitions located at the end of the text. So if you're coming across words that you're not quite sure what they mean, check out the glossary in the back and they might help you. For example, you might run into this word, predator. You go to the glossary and that'll tell you a predator is an animal that hunts other animals for food. Then we have prey, an animal hunted by other animals for food. All right. Next thing we have here is a diagram. It is a labeled drawing or photograph. So here we have a picture of a squirrel. And we have different arrows and words pointing to the different parts of its body, pointing to the ears, his hands, his feet, and his tail. It could be a diagram of the world or space or anything. And if it's a picture that's labeled, you got a diagram. Next thing we have is an index. It is a list of topics in the book in ABC order found at the back of a book. This is really helpful if you're looking for one specific thing. So our table of contents is talking about a whole chapter. But down here, we can see these look like they go together. Look, our title says all about spiders, and down below it has the same title, all about spiders. So if you're looking for this word, this is arachnids. This is actually another word for a spider. You would find that on page 2. If you're looking up different kinds of bites, you would look at page 5. Looking up their diet, you would look at page 8. So this is a more specific or smaller thing that you are looking for instead of looking for a whole chapter of stuff. Next thing we have is a table and chart. We've been talking about charts and tables a lot in math because we've been talking about different types of graphs. A table and chart is an organized way to display data. And we talked about how it's so important because it just makes information so much easier to understand. And so here, instead of just listing out what every person voted for, we just put it in a table and it makes a lot more sense and it's easier to understand. So that is what a table and a chart is. Next, we have photograph and caption. A picture taken with a camera and words that describe the photo. So there'll be some kind of a picture, and then either to the side or underneath will be a sentence or two describing what's in the picture. So here we have dolphins are intelligent ocean animals. And sometimes kids think they don't have to read the captions, but they are super important. So make sure you are always looking at the picture and reading the captions. And finally, we have a map. It is a visual aid that shows you where something is located. For example, there might be some kind of a key that might tell you, locate the blue area on the map, and that will show you where North America is. Well, I can look at the map and say, oh, this is blue, this is my North America. All right, so a map. All right, we're going to continue talking about text features for the next few weeks. We're going to continue talking about diphthongs for the next several weeks. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week.